It's already been a week, and boy, hot off the news from last week, you would think that I have a lot of groundbreaking things, but unfortunately, it's not as quite as earth-shattering as Amazon's community guidelines changing. So any of you that had just become subscribers here of my YouTube channel because of that last news segment, thank you so much and welcome here, because today we're going to be talking about, oh my goodness, the whole self-publishing world of coloring books is an upheaval because there is a brand that is trademarking some terms, and this is going to really endanger some other coloring books if it actually goes through. And the Smashwords end of year sale is upon us. How can you take advantage of that? Oh, of course, fill you in. And then last but not least, I've been keeping an eye on a digital narration platform called Spoken, or Spoken.press. And I'm going to share a little bit more details about Spoken.press here in today's broadcast, so make sure that you stay tuned. And as per usual, let's go on over and pay the bills here, because the fine folks over at Book Award Pro help make this podcast happen. They are for folks that are looking for awards or editorial reviews or Amazon reviews, and they come in a free or premium model, so it's completely up to you on how you want to do it. In fact, actually, I got a number of my books enrolled in the free plan where it can show me various opportunities, whether it be for any type of book awards or any type of editorial reviews, or any type, editorial reviews is on the pro plan. How about you make sense, Dale? And also the Amazon reviews, things like that. So you're going to find that in all of the different free plans to the essentials plan to the pro plan. Now, I use the pro plan anytime I really want to pour some fuel on the fire. So if I want to get some more awards, or if I want to get some more reviews, it costs a little bit more per month, but boy, is it worth it. I have collected so far to date 40 awards. Yeah, I've been misspeaking the last several weeks. 40 awards for 11 publications. What? Yeah. And it has been substantial in my marketing efforts, having this third-party credibility, and all thanks to the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. You want to find out more details about them, go on over to dalelinks.com/bookawardpro. And if you happen to be listening to this before January 31st of 2025, if you go over to dalelinks.com/bookawarddeal, you get 25% off your first month of service. So, and if you get in for free, obviously there's no discount on that. So let's move forward here. And this one, actually, I'm going to give a big shout out to Ayed, good and longtime supporter, I'm sure. Said, I hope you're doing well. I'm one of your followers on YouTube and a big fan of your helpful content. I would like to hear your thoughts about recent news suggesting the Coco Wyo has acquired the intellectual property rights to all coloring books, potentially restricting others from creating new works in this domain. Given your expertise and influence in publishing, self-publishing, I hope you understand this matter more clearly. Specifically, I like to inquire, is the news about Coco Wyo acquiring such comprehensive intellectual property rights accurate? If valid, how might this development affect independent creators and publishers of coloring books? What advice would you like from our resources to navigate this situation as a content creator? Okay, so let's walk it back here for just a second. Now, Coco Wyo is not going to be taking ownership of coloring books in general. They're applying for a trademark. Just because they're applying for a trademark does not mean they're going to get it. And I will tell you that applying for a trademark, I've learned through my own practices. I actually had to, I went and trademarked Book Rescue about a couple of years ago. And it took about a year, maybe a little less than a year, for that trademark to actually get pushed through. So there's still some time for this whole trademark to take through. Now, if I remember, it was like they trademarked the term easy and bold, something like that, or bold and easy coloring, something along that fact. So I think a lot of people are very scared about them doing this, so that way they can bully people out of using that specific set of keywords and such. And that could be their play, or they're just trying to just trademark it for themselves, because that's what they're going for. I don't know their reasoning behind this. They're also I believe I'd read somewhere that they've been acquired by Penguin Random House more recently. So I don't know that they're going to go and start asking for people to be taking it down. Now, what are the next best steps? Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not the first person that you should be even consulting at this point. when it comes to trademark law. Get a hold of a lawyer if you want more details. But I do know that there is an appeals process for any time someone files a trademark that you can go and appeal against that. Now, I can't remember what the name is for it. I do know a number of years ago, we ran into the issue with trademark bullying with Felina Hopkins when she trademarked the word cocky, and then she sent cease and desist letters over to various authors using the word cocky within their book. And it was a nightmare. Thankfully, she ended up walking it back, and now she just had a trademark that was completely and totally useless because the whole world just essentially was ready to cancel her because of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over to a good friend of mine, Nuria Corby. She actually runs a YouTube channel called The Home Boss, and she talks a little bit more about Coco Wyo's trademarks and how you can protect your coloring books. So I'm going to send you over towards that direction because I feel like she's a little bit more experienced into the world of self-publishing and coloring books. Have I published some coloring books in the past before? Yes. But do I consider myself a pro or expert about it? No, not by any stretch. So I'm not really invested in this. But in a grander scheme of things, just remember this, that if you're an author going and trademarking certain terms and you're trying to do it just so that way you can squeeze your competition out of the market from using those things, that's a scummy move. It sucks. You're a horrible person and you should quit the business. If you happen to be doing trademarks because you just want to protect your business and make sure that nobody is abusing your intellectual property rights, I totally get it. That's fine. But if you're going for broad terms like bold and easy coloring, come on, what you doing? What are you doing? So Coco Wyo is wildly successful. We'll see how this plays out and in due time. And I'll update you guys as time goes on. But for right now, nobody's coloring book businesses are going to go out of business because this person's going and trademarking some rather broad terms. Remember, just because they register or apply for that trademark doesn't mean they're going to get it. All right. Moving a little further forward from the fine folks over at Draft Digital, they just notified everybody, as well as Smashwords notified everybody, that the 8th annual Smashwords store end-of-year sale is upon us. It's hard to believe, but it's been 2 years since Draft Digital began distributing ebooks into the Smashwords store. Since then, every Smashwords sale has gotten bigger and better. Let's break records with the 8th annual Smashwords end-of-year sale running December 12th to January 1st and make this the world's largest indie ebook sale ever. I've just gushed time and again about Smashwords and Draft Digital. And I'm going to tell you through personal experience, anytime I've done any of their sales, and I think there's the end-of-year sale, they also have the July sale, I think they call it the summer-winter sale, something like that. But they have fairly regular, like biannual events where they will discount the ebooks. And I will tell you that even without any marketing whatsoever, I've sold books. It's incredible. If you just enroll your ebook in the Smashwords sale, it makes a huge difference. Now, of course, you need to be either distributing through Smashwords in order to take advantage of this, or you got to be distributing to Smashwords by way of Draft Digital in order to take advantage of this. I recommend if you have a book there, do it. It's so worth it. It's absolutely worth it. And I do recommend too as well, make sure that you're promoting and marketing that as well, because the more people you can send over there, the rising tide raises all boats, locking arms, you know, all that other stuff. So it makes a huge, huge difference. Will I be putting my books into that? Most likely. I'll probably be putting my books into there. Who knows? Maybe like a 25% off sale. We'll see. All right. And speaking of Draft Digital, they want to let you know that if you're looking to do any type of last minute requests, make sure that you do it before December the 9th. We expect that the flurry of pre-Christmas releases and the special holiday hours at our partner stores will result in some delays. If possible, plan ahead and submit any changes or listing requests by December 9th to ensure the changes get published before the break, which their break is going to be between December 25th and December 27th. So make sure you get those put in there with Draft Digital. All right, I briefly touched on a digital narration platform, and I'd actually mentioned it in my email newsletter not too long ago, and I've really been playing around with it a lot more. Now, full disclosure, not an affiliate. And it's essentially free access at this point. So I'm just going to tell you about it. It's open and available for free beta. So Spoken is essentially like a digital narration platform. However, it's not like a platform like, for instance, like Levin Labs where you get it produced and then you have to take the content somewhere else. No, it is all within that platform, and then they distribute and sell your audiobook within their platform itself. Now, can you take the stuff off and distribute it elsewhere? Not at this time, but I anticipate that maybe in due time, if we nudge them a little bit, they might do this. But they just recently rolled out even more new features. In fact, they're going to be doing full audiobooks relatively soon here. You could get more details about Spoken if you go to spoken.press and take a look at it. You can join the free beta program. There is some more information about it. I'm going to tell you that I've seen a lot of digital narration platforms. And I'm, by the way, not the biggest fan of digital narration. Even the folks over at Spoken know that I'm not a huge fan of them. But it's actually kind of good. It's so good. In fact, if you're a fiction author, you can do multi-voice characters for your book, and you can refine it. Here's a really cool thing. You ever notice with digital narration, if you ever tried it before, it'll mispronounce a word or the pacing's off, so then it just kind of ruins the delivery altogether? You can change that in Spoken Press. You literally can just verbally go in there. Like, for instance, you want somebody having a southern accent. I ain't gonna go do that. You could just say it right into there, and then the AI will mimic exactly what you did, except in the voice that you want to utilize it on. That's cool. It's really cool. The folks over at Spoken are ahead of the pack. Now, if you happen to be the type of person, you're like, Dale, no, digital narration, that's AI, I don't want anything to do with it, totally fine. But you might want to just go peek at it. Take a look at it. I'm a big fan of hiring professional narrators and voiceover talent. I'm a big fan of it, but I also understand that not everybody has a discretionary expense or time to do something like that. So there is this alternative in spoken.press. Keep an eye on this channel. I'm going to report just a little bit more, but right now, what I see looks pretty solid. And I can anticipate that this is going to build as time goes on. So stay tuned for more details. And speaking of details, did you guys catch my Black Friday stream this past week over on the main channel? I covered all the Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday deals for authors and self-publishers in 2024. Some of those deals have already expired, but most of them are still available. If you go on over and watch the video, take a look at it. It's going to give you all the information that you need. I also posted a Substack post. If you go over to selfpub.substack.com, you'll be able to see the Friday deals if you want to just scroll through and hit all those ones that you want to. But I've given you everything that you need to in the Black Friday deals for authors and self-publishers in 2024. I recommend take advantage of it. There's some really, really good deals going on right now. And speaking of good deals, I've mentioned this before on Substack, is a post called Authortunities. Authortunities is hosted by a good friend of mine, Angela Eureka Smith. I anticipate I'll have her on the podcast eventually. Sweetheart of a gal. She's the president of the Horror Writers Associations and Horror Writers Association. There's not multiple ones, Dale. Come on, get with it. And she actually puts out a newsletter on the regular here. And for this week, she has a deep list of beginning of December events. And so if you want to, scroll on through it. Go over, visit authortunities.substack.com to see all the latest details between contests to awards to events and things like that. Angela does a fantastic job in curating a lot of the information that you can expect in the very near future. And I think it even goes through most of December. Yeah. So there's a lot of things going on throughout December. You can take a look at it, Authortunities. So worth it. Free newsletter, by the way. So just get yourself subscribed and tell her I sent you on over there. The fine folks over at the Authors Guild are going to be hosting a webinar with a good friend of mine, Maddie Dalrymple. She's the host of Indie Author and is the Indie Author podcast and is also the campaigns manager over Ally. And she is going to be doing a webinar about indie versus trad, pros and cons of the publishing path. That'll be on Monday, December 9th. From 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. With countless authors finding success in self-publishing, it's worth taking stock on what that entails. Indie authors retain full creative control and reap the royalties of all their hard work writing and promoting a book. But not everyone is necessarily cut out to be the boss of their own publishing house, hence this webinar. Details, of course, are inside the show notes. You want to go and take a look at that. And tomorrow, and if you happen to be listening to this on the audio podcast, it's probably today, I will be interviewing the illustrious Johnny Andrews. I think this will be the 50 billionth time I've actually had an interview with him because he's just a fantastic guy. He's my go-to expert when it comes to all things online business. And Johnny's going to be coming on to talk a little bit more about scaleyourhustle.com. It's his latest course offering where he's going to tell you how to build a profitable author brand without showing your face. Yes, without showing your face. So if you have been very reluctant about building a business and putting your face on that banner, so be it. But he also assures you that if you want to show your face, that's still fine. But He's built it around the fact that he's never had to show his face on his businesses, so you go ahead and do that too. This Thursday, I'm going to be interviewing Nate Gillick from Laterpress. That'll be on this Thursday, December 5th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. We're going to be talking about Laterpress. This is the platform that gives you 100% royalty. Yeah, 100%. Yes, and even at a lower end of things, you get 85% royalty, which will cover what's the difference between the 85%, 90%, and 100% royalty. Either way, it's way better than you're going to get any other platform. And there are so many really cool tools and resources that are going to be rolling out in Laterpress in the very near future. And I'm hoping Nate's going to give us a little bit of the goods there. And I'm sure Nate's paying attention to this podcast. No pressure, buddy. But that'll be this Thursday, December 5th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. And as we start to wrap things up, I want to, of course, give a big, quick shout out to the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. You can see here in my dashboard, and anybody that's watching me on YouTube, I've had a number of books that I've submitted for awards. In fact, 12 altogether. 11 of those have received. Of all those, I've done 40 book awards in total. Love me some Book Award Pro. They are fantastic, and you can also use them for getting book reviews as well. You want more details about that, go on over, visit dalelinks.com/bookawardpro, or if you're hearing this before January 31st, 2025, you can take 25% off your first month when you use the link of dalelinks.com/bookawarddeal. That's an exclusive. That's not even in the notes. So hopefully you're paying attention. You wrote that one down. And if I missed anything, let me know over inside the Discord server. And of course, if you've got a little bit of information, more information about the whole trademark situation with the whole Coco Wyo coloring book stuff, let me know over inside Discord. That's dalelinks.com/Discord. Till later, it's been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll catch you next week. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.